What we have had to witness was clickbaiters, just looking for more money. I probably wasn't even their target. Their target was to make more money. And I was falsely accused of bearing a firearm, pointing a firearm at an aggressive content creator who came within personal distance. The only thing separating me and him was about maybe 3/4 of a meter and glass. I do not have a pistol license for a firearm. I do not carry a firearm, and I pointed no firearm at anybody. Amen. And it's our policy not to dignify hate speech, false accusations. We believe that God is bigger than that. And we believe in what is said in Romans 12 and verse 19. And it was unique because it came home on a Saturday when I observe Sabbath. Because it's a great time for me. I don't make a huge law out of Sabbath, but I believe in the principle of Sabbath. And unfortunately, several persons called me and sent me many videos. I was shocked. I'll be candid with you. I was shocked. I was hurt. I am human. But God is touched with the feeling of our infirmities. And is able to first give us succor. And what the enemy means for evil, he works it for good. On that note, I will lay that matter to rest. Case closed.
There's nothing we will not see in this Nigeria. Nothing at all. See ya, guys. I know that this video will attract a lot of bashings, a lot of drags, a lot of criticisms from, probably members of House on the Rock Church or some of the members of the Church Goers Association. Yeah, I know it's going to attract a lot of hate, but the truth has to be said. The truth has to be said. Not the one that is crowded or shrouded rather by church doctrines or by I love my pastor vibes or by misinterpreting or misusing the scriptures. No. Can we just speak the plain truth to power about this Pastor Adefarasin and the content creator situation? Because guys, I have followed on this conversation the entire weekend last week. I did not want to say anything when the video was first trending, right? And because the pastor had given an open invitation to the public on Sunday where he will address the situation, guys, I decided to keep my cool. I just wait for the pastor to address it. But then, lo and behold, if ever one could gaslight people using Bible scriptures, guys, that was what we got. I listened to a portion of his sermon where he had taken out, I think, about 2 minutes of his time to address that situation. And the fact is, he actually did not really address the situation because there was a lot of things at play on the initial clip that was trending online before he decided to speak up, right? There was a lot of things at play on that video. As brief as that video was, there was a lot of things at play. If you watch the video for yourself, you will have a lot of questions. You will have a lot of questions.
Boss. Sorry.
So, I was quite disappointed. And I was disappointed for many reasons, guys. I will share the reasons I was really disappointed on this video because right now I feel really heartbroken by the pastor himself and also by his congregation. But then what would one have expected? I mean, you're in church, the man of God will say whatever he wants to say on the pulpit and you will clap your hands. You will celebrate him because that is what is expected of you in such a religious setting. So we're going to get into this video and have an honest conversation about Pastor Paul's approach to the whole situation, all right? And we're also going to analyze the content creator's standpoint, because I have also tried to wrap my head around it, like what exactly did that person do? But anyways, I'm going to stop talking right now, right? We're going to get into this video. We will do a proper analysis of that whole situation. So aside me speaking, I would love to hear your thoughts in the comment section below. And guys, let's not forget that there's no judgment here. We just analyze things like this, right? And where we share our perspectives to situations. So go ahead, share your thoughts in the comment section below. Anyways, before we get right into it, hi, you're especially welcome to my channel. My name is Glory Elijah, and this is Frankly Speaking with Glory Elijah, and I call myself the girl with the T. And yeah, if you are a returning viewer or returning subscriber here, thank you so much for choosing to come back, for tuning in again to watch my video. You are the realest MVP. If you are new here, if this is your first time coming across my content, you are especially welcome. Thank you so much for choosing to click to watch. But if you're yet to subscribe, please do not hesitate to do just that. Go ahead, subscribe, hit the red subscribe button to subscribe. Also, ensure to turn on your post notification bell to always receive alerts of my videos whenever I upload a new one. All right. And if you are a lover of movies, trending social topics, and also reality TV shows you love watching, and also looking for a community where you can have conversations about the events that plays out on these shows or these events, this is definitely that space for you, and I totally look forward to having you come through always. All right, all of that said, let's just quickly dive right into the rest of this analysis. Okay, so let's first analyze the encounter between Pastor Paul and this content creator. Now, I'm not going to claim that I know that is their first or second encounter, guys. I don't know. I'm just going by what we saw on that first clip. All right, as a matter of fact, it's a short TikTok video. I think it's available on the guy's page. Yes, so it's a short TikTok video. You can go ahead and check it out. All right, but yeah, this content creator in person, what he enjoys doing is capturing luxury cars, very expensive cars, and also aesthetically pleasing cars along the Lekki Ikoyi route. Yes, if you live in Lagos, Nigeria, you will be aware of that Lekki Ikoyi link bridge. Yes, there's a link bridge, and then there's a roundabout that actually leads to the bridge or links to other areas of Ikoyi and of course Lekki bridge. Yes, so this particular content creator is not the only person that does that type of thing. I think I've actually encountered 2 TikTok accounts that actually does things like that. This particular content creator and another one that is also quite popular. Yeah, so what they do is they go to the end of the bridge that is on the Ikoyi part, and then they make videos of luxury cars. And most of the time, to be very honest with you, most of these cars have tinted glasses, so you barely know who is behind the wheels in those cars. And another thing is, most of these cars don't come with plate numbers. They have very interesting plate numbers like F1, 001, F2, like that, you know. So that is what happens, and that is what this content creator was actually doing. Yeah, so he had captured Pastor Paul Adefarasin's Range Rover car. According to people that actually know cars, they said that is actually the latest Range Rover car. I don't know, I'm not a car freak like that, so I'm not really sure. Now, the window obviously was tinted. The guy was doing his thing, was making a video. Now, because of the way the roundabout is constructed, cars, you know, they just keep going and going. If you want to stop, you stop. This guy was on this side of the pedestrian, that's the walk side. He was making his video. Pastor Paul was coming, and then he stops. As you can see on the video, guys. Okay, I think the video is somewhere here. As you can see, Pastor Paul was the one who stopped, warned down his glass, and then was warning the guy, stop it, don't do that, whatever he was saying on the video. And then as he was about to move away, we see him hold something that is shaped like a firearm, a small firearm. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say that I know that that is a firearm. I'm not going to say I know what that was, but whatever it was, that was what it looked like. So he flashed that and then he drove off whilst winding up his window. And when he had stopped, I don't know if you all heard on the video where the content creator was, greeting him. Hey, boss, boss, the guy was so excited, which is the typical thing that this content creator does when he sees luxury cars and their owners who would actually want to take out time, to wind down and maybe acknowledge their greeting, or maybe want to give them money, like tip them for the job they are doing. So that was what happened on that video. Nigerians saw that thing, whatever it was that Pastor Paul was holding, and that was what sparked the outrage. A lot of people lost it. Like, oh, why would a man of God that preaches security in Christ, that your church members, they use your picture or your flyers to, they use it as some sort of amulet for protection in their own vehicles or in their homes, and then you as a man of God, you have a weapon or whatever they felt it was. You have a weapon that you're using to, in a way, threaten a content creator who's just making videos, who's just creating content. Why? So the question was why. The second question people had was, what exactly was that thing? Was it a gun? Was it a firearm? What exactly was it? Now, those were the two major questions people had. And let me tell you this, ladies and gentlemen, in case you're not aware, the reason why a lot of people reacted the way they did, the reason why a lot of people were actually upset, or let's say triggered by that whole episode, especially the behavior from Pastor Paul, is because this is not the first time. Yeah, this is not the first time. There's actually another video that's circulating on social media of Pastor Paul's PA begging some passengers from a public bus, trying to pacify them. Why? Because according to eyewitnesses, or according to those people who were the victims, they had been attacked by Pastor Paul. According to them, the public bus that they had boarded had actually, I think, hit Pastor Paul's car, and he had come out and he had smashed the window, the glass of the public bus, and ended up injuring some of the passengers in the bus. And he was not remorseful about it. He had walked away. According to a lot of people that were aware of this thing that happened at the time, he had not addressed it. For him, he felt like he owed nobody any explanation, no apologies, nothing. Not to the driver now, but to the passengers that had been at the receiving end of what he had done.
My mentor behaved like this, I feel ashamed. Even when I was born as a Muslim, we can't do this kind of thing. Whether you're a man of God or not. Tell us what you do. No, it's not right. This is somebody like you. I even thought some doubt that you excuse me. Can I say something? That shot alone can kill someone. That shot alone can kill someone. Can I say something? Can I say something? You know me by now. You might not remember my face. Anytime I come, I used to come there, I used to see you. But what did you do? That's what I'm telling you, that no matter what, can you imagine a pastor? He came down after breaking the glass. He came down, telling the driver that he must go to jail today, and he's at fault. People are bleeding. He didn't even care about those that are bleeding. He just drove off. Pastor.
Where the driver dey? I go push you now. Your motor go see your police station.
So this is why a lot of people were really, really disappointed and really pissed. Like, okay, you're a man of God. How many times would you lose your temper? Would you lose your cool in public like this? Especially for a man of God that is pastoring one of the biggest churches in Lagos, Nigeria. In fact, not just in Lagos, Nigeria, but in Nigeria as a whole. You are a person of high esteem. You are a person that people respect a lot. You control a massive congregation of even most of the elites in Lagos, Nigeria. You are supposed to be a shepherd. So what are you trying? What message are you trying to pass on to your congregation? That it's okay for them to express aggression in public? So these were the many things that people were concerned about. But as I mentioned before, there were two major questions on the lips and fingers of everybody. Why did he react the way he did to that content creator? And what exactly was that thing he was holding? Was it a taser? Or was it a gun? What was it? So quite naturally, everybody had questions. Everybody was deeply concerned. Everybody really wanted to know his own side of the story, right? And so Sunday came, and as he said he would, he had addressed it. But ladies and gentlemen, I'd mentioned at the start of this video that he did not really address people's concerns in a Sunday service here. So it was during his sermon, and there was this 2 minutes video clip that was circulating on the internet. And it was just a 2 minutes video clip because obviously he just took just that time to address it. Now, if you watch the video, you will hear him say the content creator was aggressive, and there was just a few meters between himself and the content creator. He said he was being persecuted. It's clickbaiters whose main target was to increase their revenue, that it probably wasn't even the target, the target was for them to make more money. In other words, it was making it look like it was a setup, like he was set up and people wanted to drag him to make more money on social media. That was the way he explained it. And then, of course, typical of the Nigerian pastor, right? He scripturized the whole thing, brought in scriptures, talking about the persecuted, God-given solace and this and that. And he said normally that's his church and his team, they do not dignify such scandals with a response. And so this is the last he is going to speak about it, and that is it. And that was how the man addressed it in his own way. I watched that video. Ladies and gentlemen, I watched that video and I was disappointed. I was really disappointed for many reasons. But before I tell you why I was really disappointed, something caught me in what he was saying. He said the content creator was aggressive. It made me go back to watch that clip again. And I was wondering, okay, first of all, you claim that it was just there was just a short space between you and the content creator. But ladies and gentlemen, if you watch the video again, the content creator was really away from Pastor Paul's car. Pastor Paul's car had not really even gotten to the guy, right? Or maybe the guy had been following the car from far. I don't know, right? But the content creator was not even close to the car. Pastor Paul was the one that slowed down, stopped his car, warned that the guy did not. Hey, God, see, I had to watch that video again and again. Pastor Paul was the one that stopped his car, warned down his window, and was addressing the boy. Don't do that. Stop that. Don't do that. And then flashed whatever he flashed. And ladies and gentlemen, it made me wonder, how was the content creator aggressive? Sir, you have a tinted glass. So the content creator did not even know that you were the one inside the car to begin with. So if you had driven your car just like every other car had done, just drive your car and go away, how would we even have known that you were the one in the car? Because the way it looked to me, Pastor Paul wanted to be recognized, because I don't understand. you were going on your own way. A content creator was doing his thing. Okay, so let's just give him the benefit of doubt that he's not aware that there are actually content creators that do this type of content in Nigeria, because abroad, in America, in Monaco, it's a regular thing. Because over there, of course, there are a lot of flashy cars, a lot of luxury cars, very, very expensive cars. So people are out there on the streets every day, almost, taking pictures, making videos, posing with people's luxury cars, with permission, of course, sometimes with permission, sometimes without permission, but it's something that's very rampant. And Pastor Adefarasin is well-traveled. He's a very exposed man of God. I'm sure he's very much aware of these things. So let's give him the benefit of doubt that he wasn't really aware that there's something like that also happening in Lagos, Nigeria. But it wasn't like that guy had a weapon. What that guy had was his phone. You could even see from the guy's shadow on the ground that what he had was his phone. And this guy was even greeting him, emailing him, boss, boss, boss. So how was the content creator aggressive? Because if he had just continued driving up the bridge or going wherever he was going, I don't know, we wouldn't be here having this conversation today. But as I said, that was the first thing that caught my attention, that the content creator was aggressive. How? Now, another thing that really disappointed me, ladies and gentlemen, was that in his sermon, he said he did not have a pistol. He does not have a license to possess a pistol. Fine, all well and good. But why did he not bring that thing he was holding to church? Knowing fully well that he was going to be addressing the whole world. Why did he not bring that thing to church and show people that, hey, see, this is what I was holding. It's not a pistol. It's not a firearm. Look at it. This is what I'm holding. And if it's a taser, explain that, well, because of how rough the streets of Lagos can get, I have a taser just for self-defense, just for protection. And at that point in time, I kind of felt unsafe. I kind of felt threatened. Hence the reason I brought this out. Nobody's going to kill him. Because why? Men of God are human as well. It's just a lot of religious fanatics that actually put all these men of God on this very, very ridiculously high pedestal and make them look and feel like they are God themselves. Men of God are human. Men of God are capable of falling sick, they're capable of dying, they're capable of getting injured, just like you and I. So if he had taken out time to explain, but more importantly, shown that thing he was holding to his congregation, ladies and gentlemen, I think a lot of people would have actually applauded him for being honest and even showing his vulnerability that, listen, yes, I preach the gospel. Yes, I preach salvation. I preach security in Christ. I preach security in God, that God is the ultimate security, but I still carry this for safety reasons because I will be of no good dead to the world and to my flocks, to my congregation. Yeah, so I carry this too as protection or to defend myself, however way. But this man, with all manner of pride, stood on that altar. I am not going to dignify this with a response. This is where I died the case. Like, sir, I am disappointed. And guys, I was and I still am deeply disappointed because this is one of those things that actually chased me away from church. You know, you go to certain churches and, you see the ministers, not just the pastor, but you see the ministers, the deacons, the church workers. You see a lot of them. Oh God. They are terrible, right? They do a lot of things. They're nasty, some of them. But then they clothe themselves with the scriptures. They weaponize the scriptures as their defense. You see a lot of pastors, you see a lot of ministers, they do things and they act like nobody can hold them accountable for anything. They are not even accountable to anybody. They feel like they owe nobody any explanation. And And you will see their congregation kissing their feet, applauding them, even calling them brave for even going through that thing or whatever it was. And that was exactly what the House on the Rock church members were doing, applauding Pastor Paul for openly gaslighting all of them. The way he explains that situation, that was pure gaslighting. He was deflecting by not showing what he was holding and explaining why he flashed that thing at that young man. That was pure deflection. That was pure deflection. Those people applauding him, they were acting brainwashed. Really sad. I mean, guys, if we're going to be honest with ourselves, the fact is, Pastor Paul has messed up. As a man of God, he has messed up. As human, he has messed up. Yeah, let's call a spade a spade. Because this is not the first time. This is the second time. I mean, to the best of public knowledge, this is the second time. This is the second time that he's losing his temper. Not to his mate or his social class, but let me know what I want to say. But it doesn't look good. The optics does not look good. It doesn't. Because by his actions, which looked kind of aggressive. The first one that happened was quite aggressive, right? And yes, he has every right to behave or react the way he reacted. But ladies and gentlemen, once you hold such a position in society, a lot is expected from you. There's a saying that, to whom much is given, much is expected. That was not the kind of reaction that was expected of him, right? And so this one happening the second time, it's him proving to the whole world that yes, he's got anger issues. He's got anger issues and is not the type that can be held accountable for anything. Because you see that explanation he gave to his church, I don't think he did not explain anything, to be very honest. He didn't explain anything. It was more like him indirectly saying that nobody can question me. The only person that I can answer to is God, which is right. But what are you teaching your congregation? That, do like your pastor? Because you see, that's what happens in most of these mega churches. Whatever the pastor does, that's what the fanatics amongst the congregation does. They will say, my pastor did it like this. Yes, me, I'm going to do it as well. I'm going to show strength. I'm going to show power. I'm going to show that I am of the upper class. That is what most of these churches do. And when the congregation wants to do what their pastors do, or have done, or normally does, they usually go the extreme. As learned, as exposed, as well-traveled, and as enlightened in the things of the world and in things of the spirit as Pastor Paul Adefarasin is, he messed up big time in this particular occasion. Because this would have been an opportunity for him to clear the doubts of people, especially with regards to his actions, during the first viral altercation he had with that bus driver. And then now this one is happening again. Very, very sad, very unfortunate. And then to the people defending him, what are you people defending? What are you defending? What are you defending? What are you defending? I don't understand. Like, people acting so myopic. Why? Because a pastor is involved. Religion indeed has enslaved a lot of people in this country. Because in that congregation, I'm sure that there are a lot of people from all walks of life, a lot of elites, law enforcement agents, lawyers, doctors, people from different professions. I mean, I'm not a member of the church, but I love their crossover service. So 31st night, I think 2 years in a row now, I've joined their crossover service and I love it. I love it because I resonate with the pastor. I always love to listen to him preach because for me, he's a very enlightened person. And listening to the testimonies from that church, the people that go to that church, especially the one in Lekki, Lagos, they are not small people. They are big people. So when I heard the congregation give him a round of applause, some of them giving him a standing ovation, guys, shame catch me. Shame catch me. Indeed. Religion has been weaponized a lot in this country to brainwash a lot of people. I'm not saying the congregation should have stood up, in church and started pointing fingers at the pastor like, oh, pastor, you did wrong, you did wrong. No. But what were they celebrating at that point in time? What were they celebrating? Encouraging such level of gaslighting on the altar of God, if we're going to be very religious here, on the altar of God. That is unacceptable. Completely unacceptable. And it's really sad. But ladies and gentlemen, what do I know? They will say you cannot talk to your pastor anyhow. You cannot accuse your pastor. So I said what I want to say. And I would love to hear from all of you. So guys, please go ahead and share your thoughts in the comment section below. All right, I will see you all on another episode of Frankly Speaking with Gloria Elijah. Thanks for watching and have a pleasant day. Bye.